Hi guys, welcome to my channel if you're new here, and if you've watched my previous videos, welcome back. Guys, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Would really appreciate it, and it would really help our channel. So let's get straight into the video. So in this video, we're talking about all things holidays, but specifically our baby's first holiday in Africa, as well as meeting my family and your family's first time
Oh
in
yeah,
Zimbabwe. That's your mom and sister.
it's cool, wasn't it? Actually,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think it's important to highlight why this video is quite sentimental. It's because our son got to meet my family.
yep,
We took him to Africa, which is where I'm from, Zimbabwe to be specific.
yep.
We took him to South Africa as well. We went for Christmas last year. What was it now?
23,
2023.
2023.
So he was about 9 months old.
Yeah,
Yeah. And we had to take him back home, obviously, and just meet everyone, meet the
yeah,
family, and we want to start that habit as well. We don't want to make it just a one-off thing. We
no,
want to take him so that he knows where mommy's from, and
yeah.
he's in
That's
tune with his
important.
culture and the language and stuff. So we thought we would take him.
Really important, and also there's plenty of people dying to see him as well. So
Yeah. So we
yeah,
thought we would just take him for the first time. We start when he's young so that it becomes a habit. He's familiar with it, he grows
yeah,
up with it, and yeah. So we went with your mom and sister,
yep.
which was amazing.
Hmm.
They were happy to join us on this amazing trip. It was going to be Christmas away in Zimbabwe, but before we went to Zimbabwe, we did go to South Africa. Now the preparations for this were quite a lot. Obviously, we were traveling with a baby,
Hmm.
so he had his BCG. I think it's the one
Mm.
on the arm.
Yep.
That one he had received it when he was still a newborn, because
Mm.
obviously we knew that we'd be taking him
Yep.
back to Africa or to Africa for holidays. We want him to be exposed and just to travel around the world and stuff. So we opted for that option.
Hmm.
And vaccines, he was up to date with his vaccines. And then because we were going to Victoria Falls, we did speak about him getting any malaria vaccines or something of that
Yeah,
kind. But because he was too young and he didn't weigh, I think it's 11 kgs or 12 kgs
yeah.
for little ones to start having the tablets, so he couldn't have it. And thankfully I was breastfeeding, so he managed to, and I took the malaria tablets,
Mm.
so he was obviously getting that from me, but we still had to prepare. For example, the mosquito repellent patches. I bought loads from Amazon,
Mm.
and the repellent, and just making sure that he was okay, he was covered everywhere, and just making sure that he's dressed in long sleeve stuff, trousers, whatever. And just being careful, really. So that was the preparation for baby. And then for you, what was your preparation like? You want to tell them?
For going to Zim.
Zim, yeah, the holiday.
Yeah, it's just all about AJ really, and
Mm.
just make sure he's got his patches and that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
You had vaccines, didn't you?
um,
Yeah, you did.
yeah, there was yeah, that's a bit of a story. I mean, when the first time we went to Zim,
Yeah,
I got one of the jabs. I forget which one now, and
yeah.
this is not the way of doing things. But the NHS had run out at that time, and I had about a week or so before I could get the jab and still go.
Hmm.
Even though I probably still would have gone, I still would have been safe.
Fine, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I think a lot of the thing is like made in Vic Falls because there is risk of malaria, low
Yeah.
level. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong. Whereas in Harare,
It's
North Harare,
different,
where your
yeah.
mum's, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Johannesburg, um, Vic Falls is different, probably just
Hmm.
because of the moisture in the air as
The
well.
moisture, yeah.
It's
Because I remember when I would go for school trips to Victoria
yeah,
Falls, would actually be recommended to take malaria tablets.
yeah,
So
yeah.
even
Malarone, right?
mm, yeah, there's
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
types. So we still had to take some tablets just to make sure, because it is quite high, I think.
Is it?
And yeah, I
Oh,
do
okay.
think so. Yeah. So just to be on the safe side. So you had the vaccines, and your mom and sister also had vaccines before they went. Because
Yep.
I don't know, I think when you tell people that you're going to Zimbabwe, people are like, oh, you need this, you need that, different things. And even when I was speaking to one of the pharmacists, and I was telling them that I'm taking my baby, he's 9 months, and and things like that. They oh, are you sure? How long are you going there for? You know, just like that fear mongering that we were talking about earlier. And
what I find they do is, like I was saying, the first time I went, the NHS, this is 2017, they'd ran out of one of the jabs, and I had to
yeah,
go to somewhere in Norwich, and this woman just stuck a needle in my arm, and I walked on my way with a receipt, basically, and
yeah,
it didn't even say which one it was. I know which one it was, but for this trip, it just said, "Oh, you're fine."
mm-hmm.
But what actually happens when you go to your doctor's office? It will say, where you type in where you go, and there's a map saying that they don't know. They're not
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't think they're trying to be judgy as such. It's just in case a computer says you need this
Yeah.
and
If
that's
it's
that.
high risk, if it's a
High
red
risk.
zone,
Oh, you know,
yeah, you have to tell your patients, don't you? So that's fine. So we
doesn't come across well. I get
it
it though. Yeah,
doesn't. It's a
yeah.
bit because I was like, he'll be fine. I'll be there. I'll make sure
Yeah.
he's all right. He's not going to drink tap water or
Oh, jeez,
whatever.
man. Honestly,
And so that's all good. And I didn't have any jabs, obviously, because I've been there so many times. And
it's ridiculous though. Us saying you need jabs to
yeah, they
like
did.
you've never been there.
I know,
it's like
but
you're going to Mars or something.
I don't know. They just want people to be
I
careful and
get
just
that,
be
but
safe, which is fair. If you have the option, you can take it. But I didn't take it. But I did take the malaria tablets. I think that was really important. So the flight was long. We went to South Africa first. Went to Johannesburg, and we stayed there for about 3 days. I'd say
yep.
3 or 4 days, and then we then flew from. How did AJ do on the flight? He was really good. We were prepared.
You weren't the
Do
one
you know
getting
what?
bitten every 5 minutes.
I speak highly. My son. Clearly, I'm quite biased. No, I think he was teething, which is not great. But we were prepared with the Pongela. That's one thing when you travel. Oh, jeez. Am I that parent who thinks their son is perfect? I think
No,
I
you
am.
don't. It's just like I remember that the second leg of the flight, I was just covered in bites.
No, I'm talking about the first.
Oh, the first one. Oh, yeah, he was
He
great.
was
Yeah, fine.
great.
Yeah,
He did
fine.
well, and we had everything organized. I think that's one thing about me. I will plan and I will do my research on everything that you need to make sure that he's happy. So I had new toys I'd never played with, books, and different entertainment, snacks to keep him occupied, and also the boob. So he was happy, and yeah. But then he started biting and things like. He was just quite. I think he got frustrated because it's a long flight. And then we got to Johannesburg. It was good. There's the good thing is the time difference is not bad.
Yeah, that's the thing,
I
isn't it? Yeah.
think we're like
It's
two
an
hours,
hour, isn't it? Oh, it's an hour or 2 hours,
an
whichever.
hour or
Yeah.
two because it's winter. So
Oh, I can't remember. Sorry.
an hour,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's an hour behind, which is it's all right. It's manageable. So we were prepared. He was happy. We were all happy. And then we from Johannesburg we flew to Victoria Falls.
Yep.
Was like my sister and her family. They did a road trip, which would have been nice if we didn't have the baby. But we thought with AJ, I think it's best for us to fly and yeah, just make the trip short. So we flew from Johannesburg to Victoria Falls and waited for everyone else to join us because they were enjoying the road trip.
Mm.
And we got there. No, got there first, yeah. And then my other cousin had already arrived
Yep.
from Ireland,
Yep.
and we met up. It was lovely. We enjoyed ourselves in Victoria Falls, and obviously we covered up in mosquito repellent. It was a great time. We went to the falls.
Yeah. Awesome.
It was just a lovely time.
Mm.
We had a little family reunion, and people met my son for the first time, his grandparents, his aunts and uncles, and oh, it was lovely. His cousins. We had a lovely time.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
my mum and my sister like really enjoyed it as
just
well.
being part of it as well, it was such an amazing time.
Yep.
And then after Victoria Falls, so we had
we underestimated our road
how
trip.
many people were there? I think we were like I can't remember how
No, it
many.
was about 10, I think.
But 10 people.
10, yeah.
We have 3 cars. And obviously people got luggage.
Oh,
cool. We managed to fit into 3 cars because they were big cars, big trucks, and big cars. And we drove from Victoria Falls to Masvingo.
Well, it's further than Masvingo, isn't it?
outskirts of Masvingo, which is where my homestead is.
Hang on, it's the outskirts of Masvingo. Then on the outskirts of Masvingo, you've got like a hour or so's drive off road, which was absolutely
Off road,
awesome.
yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
It was
But
lovely, but with a child and obviously like your mom and sister are not used to it. It's
no,
very long. How many hours was it?
It was 16 in total.
16 hours.
We stopped off in Bulawayo, and it was just the busiest.
The thing is, when you travel with a lot of people, you're gonna have different a lot of
yeah.
stops as well, because and one thing about my culture, I've got a big family, so if we're passing through Bulawayo or a town where we have a relative, we'll probably stop over and say hi. That's just
It was nice to meet your dad's cousin.
Yeah,
Well.
so we stopped over different places and stuff, just saying hi to people and people meeting my son. It was lovely, and I really appreciated it. And the road trip, you drove some of the way because it was a long drive.
Absolutely loved it, but
the roads were not great.
The
Oh
road,
my life!
yeah. I mean, I've only ever, the road. Some of the roads weren't great. I mean, I don't want to be disparaging at all, because I mean, I love Zimbabwe. Don't get me wrong. Some of the roads weren't great, but one thing is that, like, because Hawaii is just ridiculously hot, isn't it? It is
really
so.
hot.
What you'll find is that where the road's good, there's a slight camber on the road, and you've got a little dip here, and you've got some nice greenery there. Well, people want to, like, where it's the only place they can graze their goats or cattle, or there's a donkey. That's not fun to drive past in the middle of the night.
You're like, lot of donkeys and cattle.
You're actually quite like, oh, you're like glued to the road. But I really enjoyed driving. I'm glad your dad let me. And
yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah,
and I think the best person who did so well was AJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
our son. He was amazing. He was asleep. He was either sleeping on the boob or just playing for a bit and then goes back. Like, he was just having fun. He was having the time of his life. Whereas I was worrying, like, oh, is your mom okay?
My mom's
your
back,
sister, your mom's back, and just other people, just worrying about other people, like
people, everyone got on, and it was nice. But the problem is I really let my mom and sister down. As I said, it'd be about 8-9 hours, and it was more like 16 or 17.
He told them it would be like 8 hours, yet it was like double the time.
Yeah, and I was so exhausted.
Yeah,
and it didn't help stopping off in Bulawayo, but then we needed to stop off.
We needed to stop off, like, for food and just meeting my other uncle as well. Like, that's it. Like, when you've got family, you need to stop over. So
I don't think Enoch ate until about 3 or 4 o'clock. So we needed to stop. He has, it was that
we had to
in
eat
or whatever.
chicken. Yeah, we had to have chicken. If you know, you know.
I like Bulawayo, though. Actually, I was telling someone I worked with today. I said, I like Bulawayo.
Yeah,
it's cool. I didn't get to see much of it, but
yeah, we were there for
half hour.
Oh, you remember?
It's about half hour, and then and then 10 minutes filling up at the petrol station. You know.
So yeah, that's it. So we then moved on. We went to our homestead, which is, oh my gosh, the most peaceful place ever. It's in the middle of nowhere. You just hear birds, and there's like fresh air, and it is just so peaceful. So just waking up, because we got there really late. I think it was like 1 a.m.
It was like 1 a.m. So we started. Yeah, we've been
driving. So we got there 1 a.m. People went to sleep. People were tired.
But we got there in the pitch black.
So we didn't know.
So for me, I woke up in the morning and I was like, I got here in the dark. I knew we were off road. I knew I could see like trees and stuff, but I did not realize where we were going. And it was probably the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. And I was surrounded by mango trees and like, just like, really, local people, I mean, you related to quite a few people in that area. I mean,
the thing is, sometimes you can be family friends, but you're like related. That's the thing with my culture. Yeah. So, anyways, I hadn't been there in years, so it was quite nice to go back in after so long and just taking my son as well.
Yeah.
See where mommy's mom is from. Yeah. And it was lovely just waking up. Everyone is there, just vibing. Great time there. And then after that, we then left the homestead. I think we were there for like 2-3 days. We were meant to be there for 2 days, and then we extended to 3 days.
Yeah.
Because people were really exhausted. from the drive.
Oh, it was.
You know, we just wanted to chill, anyways. And then after that, we went to.
I mean, just you know, props to you know your uncle Sekuru for taking care of us there. I mean, because like you know, he really looked after us, and it really meant a lot for my mum, my sister to come and you know be part of that. And we had some you know nice bonfire. We had nice food.
We had bonfires. Oh, it was lovely. Honestly, it was really good. We played games and it was lovely. And then we went to Great Zimbabwe as well.
Yeah. Also, we went to Great Zimbabwe, which was for me. I just want to say it was a real honour to be in your homestead, and it was real. And the Great Zimbabwe. I'm into history, by the way, like visiting places like that. So to have gone to that, I mean, you know, which is Zimbabwe's Colosseum kind of thing, you know, it's or Eiffel Tower, that national monument.
Zimbabwe's Eiffel Tower. I like that.
Yeah, your country's named after it, after all. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you
Great
know,
Zimbabwe. Yeah.
You know,
so we went there. AJ was there throughout as well. We didn't go and walk around and stuff.
Not only that is, you know, my mother's broke her back twice, and we walked to the top of that. And I'm just trying to think what the logic in doing that was.
You only live once, man.
Yeah. We're trying to tell her not to do it. So
she did it, and we loved it. And then after Masvingo, we then went to. It was also nice to see my grandparents' old house, and then we saw Kyle Dam, which is lovely as well.
Yeah, really, really beautiful. And it was. I just want to say, on behalf of my family, it was a real honour to be. It was an honour to take AJ to your homestead, and you know, everyone we were really welcome there, and you know, it was amazing. Really, I mean, you know. You know, your cousin did scare me about like don't go walking at night because there's loads of snakes.
There is snakes everywhere. To be fair,
I think it's kind of like it was kind of there's a lot of water around, and where there's water, there's snakes. And I was like, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to stick in here when it's dark. I'll go out in the day because I went out and met you and your family. It was real nice to meet you and meet everyone there, sort of thing. And you know, that was really nice. But it was a real honour to go there. And I mean, you are like an hour's off road to get there, so I feel quite privileged to have been there.
Yeah,
and and
then
love to go back.
Yeah, and then we left. On the way, obviously, you're buying. You know, you just have to buy snacks from your childhood and stuff, which is really nice. And then again, on the way to Harare, we had to stop over again. Family.
Yeah.
We stopped over, I think twice. We stopped over just outside Masvingo, and then we stopped over in Harare as well.
Yeah, it was your granddad's brother we stopped off at first, then we stopped over in Harare.
Yeah, so we stopped over in Harare, had some lunch, and obviously a few things that had to be sorted out, whatever. Yeah. And then after Harare, we then proceeded to Bindura, which is where I grew up, my hometown.
Yep.
And then it was the final stop. It was lovely to be back home again after so long, and we enjoyed ourselves. It was food, drinks, we just chilled. It was just time to relax after all the traveling up and down and just seeing Zimbabwe, exploring Zimbabwe and stuff. So what was the highlight for you?
We had a good time at Monte Casino. Nice. We we left AJ with my mum, went out with my sister.
For the first time,
went out with my sister. We had a good time, didn't we? Actually, you weren't like worried, nothing. He was just, you know, you went to sleep with my mum's room for a bit, and we went and got him. But like, we had a good time. That was good. Vic Falls was amazing. It was also nice to I had met some of your cousins before. One, sorry. You know, that was nice to have met everyone, see how everyone was doing after a couple of years. It was really nice, and that was great. But honestly, the highlight for me was obviously spending time with your mum and dad and your siblings. But really, the highlight really was your homestead.
Yeah,
and I think that was good, and cooking food together and all that. But one thing I will say is, it was so hot. Without drinking alcohol, I felt hungover. But
it was boiling. It was really hot.
Maybe I belong in a cold climate. I don't know, but one day, who knows? Maybe we could move to Zim.
But one person who really enjoyed himself was our son. He loved it. Oh my goodness, he was thriving.
Dad.
They were bonding with my dad, and they were really enjoying themselves. He loved the food, the traditional food, and I just let him be. He was just thriving, crawling around. Just it was so sweet.
It was, yeah.
Watching him just playing with his cousin. It was rough play, but yeah, just them doing their own thing. It
Yeah.
was really, really lovely, and it really meant a lot. And that's one thing we want to do, just to continue taking him to Africa, and not
Yeah.
just Africa. We want him to travel around the world, explore different cultures. But obviously, it is important for us to raise him so that he knows where he is from,
It's so
and
important to me as
be
well.
in touch with his culture, his
Yeah.
language, the food, the people. So we had to start when he was young. So we took the first opportunity we had, and we took him when he was 9 months, and we didn't regret it. Did
Nope.
we fall sick? Did we catch malaria? No, we were absolutely fine. We were careful. We were safe, and we just had to be careful. Like anywhere else you'd go in the world, you still be careful. We had a lovely time. So yeah, anything else?
No, it was great, and like I said, it was a real honour to be there, and
Mm.
really nice to see all your family. And
Yeah, it was lovely.
I love your culture as well.
Yeah.
As well, I really appreciate that. But yeah, just like something my mum, I remember telling me, was like, don't just stick to your surroundings. There's a big world out there.
Bigger
And I think
world out
we're keen
there.
to tell our son that. And I mean,
Yeah.
when he was a few months old, I had him watching his Shona cartoons sort of thing, so he
Yeah.
understands. And I wonder if
Yeah.
he does understand sometimes. He watches it and he sort of like nods at the right times and
Yeah,
stuff
he
like that, and
does
he knows the
understand.
songs.
He
So I think
does.
he understands more than you think, and
Mm.
he says the odd word, doesn't he? So
But yeah, it was lovely also, like just having your mom and your sister as
it
well.
was,
Obviously,
yeah,
it's
it
a
was,
different type of holiday. Zimbabwe is a landlocked country.
yeah.
So, and even when we were in South Africa, we didn't get the chance to go to the beach, and so we went to Johannesburg, to the city
Yeah,
break. So, it's a different type of holiday. Of course, it's not for everyone,
yeah.
but it is really, obviously, it's
It's
my
better.
home. It's oh, okay.
It's better. It's
That's nice
better.
to hear.
So I said to my sister, I said, there's a stereotype about British people. They have to see a beach and like quite a lot of alcohol, sort of thing, for if they're going to be on holiday. Now that's not the case for my family, nor my sister. But I do, she does like to go to the beach. And I said, do you know what? Even from the plane, you won't see the sea.
Yeah.
You're going
Yeah,
to see land,
it's
and that's
just a
it.
different type of
It's
holiday.
way better
It's
though.
not for everyone, but before you rule it out, you have to try it. So we
Oh
definitely
yeah,
recommend it to people out there who haven't been there.